Well, welcome to Sty Times. Great to see you, folks. Great to see you. Hey, it's Friday. Wow. Yeah. Thank God it's Friday, right? I got to be careful when I say that because even back in my career days, people would say, "Oh, thank God it's Friday," and I'd go, "Yeah, enjoy yourselves," because I usually worked 6 days a week, so my Fridays felt like Thursdays, and so I got to be careful when I say that. Hey, I want to say hello to the folks that have been out in the chat. Um, Deidre Baker right away popped in early, and the Ingalls family popped in. Peppers in Kentucky Living, great to see you there, pal. Me Dibble. Um, he said, yeah, Me Dibble said, I see I'm just in time, but I need a coffee, so I guess I'm going to miss the start. I tell you what, for a cup of coffee, even though it's my show, if I didn't have my coffee, I'd have to say in the chat, I'll be right back because yeah, I got to have my coffee. And Cinda Lou, great to see you. Awesome. JDS flying Canuck is in the house. Great to see you, JDS. It's been a while. And we got Adventures in the Heartland. It's great to see you, John. And anybody else? No, that's it for the folks that are over in the chat currently. Yeah, tonight's topic. Hey, Rebecca Felter, great to see you, girl. Tonight's Lori J's in the house too. Boy, yeah, folks are starting to file in. That's good. That's good. Well, tonight's topic, straightforward, pretty clear. Your friendly fact checker. Okay. Now, this topic is on my topic list, and it was the next one that came out of the hat. Hello, everything spicy out there in the chat. Um, he's on his way home. Can't text, but I'll be watching. You watch the road, buddy. There's some facts for you that I don't know the numbers. I'm not giving you the facts. I just know for a fact that it is a pretty high number that a lot of automobile accidents involve people texting and messing with their phones while they're driving. the the thing is, so this was in my bucket of topics, and I use a random generator that randomly picks my topics for me, and it picked this one. It was actually this one was going to be my topics got pushed down the road by one day every topic because I had a day off early this week. So when I saw this, yeah, distracted driving there, spicy. Um, the Lori, I'm never surprised to see you anymore, girl. You have been so consistent. That's good. It's good to see you. But when I was thinking about the topic, and I'm taking a look at some of my bullet points and thinking about the topic, and now I knew when that topic ended up in my topic list to start with that to get through this topic, I'm hoping, I am so much hoping that nobody feels that I'm going to be making any kind of personal attack or I'm picking them out of a crowd or anything like that. So please, if you disagree with anything I say about your friendly fact checker, that's all right. Just so you know, that's all right to disagree. I don't mind a bit. But let's not get into any fact checking arguments in the show, in the chat. The topic is mine to present. I'm not here to debate with anybody over actual facts, right? This is a very generalization of your friendly fact checker. Now, I think everybody knows what that is. It's your friendly fact checker. We got, hey, E-Waste Mike, great to see you in the chat. We've got fact checkers all around us nowadays. You can't, today, I saw something on the news and it shocked me. And I thought, bravo, bravo. I heard an actual news anchor say, does anybody know who's fact checking the fact checkers? And then who's fact checking the fact checkers that are checking the fact checkers? And I thought, you know how true that is? How true that is? Every time I've seen somebody that decides they're going to be the fact checker of the day, and they're going to correct anybody and everybody that says anything, and they throw out their absolute, in their mind, absolute fact. You're all wrong. That's the absolute fact. They throw that out there. All they're doing is triggering a bunch of, it starts out with a debate. It leads to an argument. Then it leads to yelling at each other. It leads to, it's all a bunch of baloney. It's all a bunch of baloney. Where is fact checking actually even appropriate? Well, first of all, I'm the kind of person where if I'm having a conversation with people and somebody says something that, yeah, I don't agree with that, I'm not going to try to fact check that because it's a conversation. I'm not going to agree with everything everybody says, and they're not going to agree with everything I say, but we're enjoying each other's company and we're having a conversation. We're not here to prove someone right or wrong. But there's always a fact checker in the crowd that's going to make doggone sure they can put somebody in their place. We are not under oath. We're not swearing to God when we're in a conversation with somebody. So get off the fact checking and enjoy life a little bit. Okay? Hey, Max Galaxy, good to see you. That's nice of you. That very nice comment. Thank you very much, Max Galaxy. But and Me Dibble leaves a comment, says, in my opinion, these facts are correct. That's what the fact checker says. A lot of times they won't say, in my opinion, though. But you're absolutely right, Me Dibble, because that's what's in their mind. In my opinion, my facts are right. Now, I've been in many a situation like that where I've had someone say, hey, this is the fact, and here's my proof. Now, I use Google to learn, to look things up I don't know. I get frustrated at times when all Google can give me is a single source. And I can't find any collaborating evidence or facts to go with that single one source. Well, if there's only one source, I'm not going to tag it with fact because there's a second witness to everything in the world. There's a second witness. If I can't find a second witness to a fact, then I'm not going to take it as fact until I see that second witness. And many times I've had fact checkers tell me, check this source out. Boom. I look at the source and I go, Well, yeah, they're saying what you're saying, but I'm telling you, I cannot agree with that. I do not believe it. I don't believe it. I know from my own personal life and conversations with people, I know differently than what that source is saying. So I don't trust that one source. Now you show me a second source or a third, fourth, fifth source. Now I'm going to start thinking maybe I was wrong. I was mistaken. That I need to get into. One of the shortcomings of a fact checker, and I hope this conversation today will help any fact checkers that are out there in the audience watching. They're not might not be chatting, but they might be watching. But I hope this helps them, because fact checkers, there's a place for them. There really is. There's a good place for them, but not the type of fact checkers we're dealing with in this day and age. One of the problems I have, and some people have seen me kind of blow up on certain people sometimes because they're fact checking me, and I just tell them flat out, prove it up, prove it up. I got no problem with that. Go ahead and prove it up. And they'll tell me flat out right in my face, you're wrong, period. And they won't quit with the wrong. You're wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. And I'll show you how wrong you are. And they love that word wrong. Now, I'm guilty of that. I've done that to people, said, no, you're just wrong. You're wrong. But later, when I think about the conversation and that interaction, and that I was in their face saying how wrong they were, I feel bad. I look back at it and I shouldn't have gone there. I shouldn't have taken that approach. I should not have done that. Now, I grew up knowing that there's two things in life that are a given: things that are right, things that are wrong. Well, I was taught that, oh, so and so went over and burnt the neighbor's house down. That's wrong. Boy, that's just wrong. Did you hear how that guy was talking in front of them little kids over there? Oh, that's bad. That's wrong. Well, that's just wrong. Did you see that? There was a 10-year-old kid smoking cigarettes outside the schoolhouse over there. That's wrong. Man, that's just wrong. That's bad. Oh, bad. Bad and wrong always went together, right? To be wrong in any situation meant you were being bad in that situation, that it was a bad thing. And what's a fact checker do right away? They get in your face and tell you, you are wrong. You're so wrong. I'm going to prove to you how wrong you are. Think about it. I've felt it, and I got pretty thick skin. I can take quite a bit of grief. And so are generally most people. But I still feel it when somebody starts hammering with me, on top of me, about how wrong I am. It starts feeling very belittling. They're being condescending, and they're belittling me by hammering at me their need to prove that I'm bad, that I've done something bad, that I'm wrong. So I hope you get the gist of that. And so, fact checkers, beware. When you start pointing out how wrong people are out there, you are technically, and that's that's the thing, is you can have a different opinion. I don't mind if you have a different opinion of that, But I am of a firm opinion that you are, because you're doing it with intent and concentrating on and putting all your effort into proving how wrong that person is. You are actually belittling that person, and you're getting satisfaction from it. So beware, beware. You might want to change yourself, because when you're doing that, then I think you're a bad fact checker. You're not our friendly fact checker. You're not being a good one. You're not being a good one. To me personally, a good fact checker is somebody that says, "Oh, hey, Sty, what you just said, I think you're mistaken. I think you're mistaken. I think you need to look into it a little further, because I really, I think you're mistaken." And I can say, "No, I'm pretty sure I'm right." Well, I can show you this. It might change your mind. And I am not shy to go to see new information, new facts, and go, whoa, yeah, man, I was mistaken. Boy, was I mistaken. I wasn't wrong, because I was right. I have been so stinking mistaken on things in the past, but I was absolutely right in that moment, because with all the information I had, all the information I knew, my statement was correct. You add the information that I was never aware of, and you bring it into the picture, and I can weigh that against the information I had. All of a sudden, I'm going, oh, wow, my information was lacking. I was mistaken. I was mistaken. Bad mistake. But guess what? I think like you now. Thank you. I don't mind being corrected, as long as it's a friendly correction. Attacking somebody by being intent on making them wrong, and in my frame of mind, making them bad, that's not good. That's not good. You're not being a friendly fact checker. You're being a jerk. I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel. Um, I'm one that I see folks out in the chat. Kimberly Ferris, Kayla Ferris, love you girls. Mad Kiwi, it's been a while, buddy. Um, yeah, a lot of misinformation out there. That's it. And that's where I have issue with fact checkers. Is a lot of fact checkers today take misinformation and apply it as fact. Well, if they haven't fact checked their information, that's another thing that always bothers me, is especially with sole source. Oh, well, such and such an association says. Well, do you know how many associations on that topic there are out there? Come on, can you give me 3 or 4 that agree? If you can't, and it's just that one association, I could care less what, and or they say these people are very credible, blah 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 blah. Okay, I've known some very credible people in this world. They got more accolades, and their credibility is off the charts, and they sat there and lied right in the public's face. So don't tell me because they're so accredited and they're an association or an organization or they're a government unit. I want to see that source. I want to see their history. I want to see other sources. Like I said, a second witness that agrees with them. I want to see the ones that disagree with them too, before I'm going to make a decision what I believe is the fact. I don't need anybody to convince me what the facts are. I just need information, and I'll decide what the fact is. Because if you're just going to tell me what it is, I'm sorry, I don't. I I'm my own person. I don't need somebody else making my factual decisions for me. And that goes back to when you're hammering somebody about how wrong they are. That is a very personal attack on a person when what they're saying to you, unless they're intentionally lying, what they're saying to you is on the best information they have. That is what they believe to be fact. Just because there may be some information they have not heard doesn't make them wrong, doesn't make them bad. And we got so much of that going on today. We got so much of that going on today in the world. And that's one of my pet peeves. It's hey, there's Tim with Kirk Whipper Voyager Center. I love seeing Tim. But and some fact checkers don't realize that there's a place for fact checking and there's places not for it. In an open, general, friendly conversation, there's no I fact checked your words and that's a fact check. That's good. I like that. But see, and that's it, is I've had individuals actually take a word that I've said and they claim they fact checked that word. Most words will have 1,000 opinions as to what the true meaning of that word is. But then you'll have a fact checker say, nope, it's coming right from the Webster's dictionary, and that is the fact. Well, they're absolutely partly right. They're absolutely partly right because by the Webster dictionary, that's exactly what that word is. Maybe in public opinion, however, it's not. Maybe in a different publishing of a different dictionary, the fact of that word is different. So again, fact-checking should always be, hey, I've got some other information. Don't try to sell it as the lone one fact. Sell it as good information. Say, hey, I've got some other information. I think you'd be interested in this. Take a look at this. It's on this topic, and you got to, take a look at it. You may not have seen this. That gives you, it puts it back in your court where you can actually look at this added information and say, oh, wow, that information you gave me was great because it swayed me. I think like you do now. I was sorely mistaken. What is that? That's a friendly interaction between two people that didn't agree on something. It may not result in you eventually agreeing on something, but it still stays friendly. Nobody's yelling you're wrong at each other. Lies from MSM and big tech. That and that's it. That's it. And that's it. We that's why I say we see it every day out there. And the me Dibble uses the Oxford Dictionary. I've looked in the Oxford, I use Webster's, and there was one other one, I can't remember which it was. I used to be a book freak, man. Years ago. When I finally got rid of my books, Yeah, I think that truck that hauled them off was over the weight limit. I had something. I had 3 sets of encyclopedias. I was a book freak. Dictionaries galore. Some very old dictionaries from the late 1800s. I think I had 3 of them. But I had someone actually. I'll fess up. It was my ex-wife. We were married at the time, but it was my ex-wife. She We got in a discussion about something, and I said, I don't think so. You need to check this out, look this up. Here, and I wrote down on a piece of notepaper 4 books from our home library. I said, pull those books and look into those are 4 different authors, different opinions. Look at it and then let me know what you think about what we're talking about. She goes, oh, you think you know everything. I stop for a minute and I go, actually, I don't. You're right. But I know I don't think I know everything. I know I don't know everything. But I just realized how little I really know. And she goes, oh, yeah, say that now, but you think you know everything. She goes, and you'd be surprised how wrong you are when it comes to everything. She was just trying to pick a fight, because she knew how I felt about being called wrong. I said, yeah, okay. Let's change the topic. So everything was cool for a couple of days. I can't quote it now, but back then, this is many years back now, but back then I spent like 3-4 days all day long, breaks at work, at home after dinner, 2-3 times. I was in those 3 dictionaries until I memorized word by word the definitions right from the dictionaries of the word everything. Then I just proud got in her face one morning over breakfast and said, guess what, sweetie? She goes, what now? I go, I've been thinking about it for almost a week. You're right. I do know everything. I know everything. She goes, I knew it. I knew you thought you knew everything. I said, I'm not thinking I know everything. I know everything. And she thinks she's going to be smart, whips off a question about something I didn't know nothing about. And I go, well, I don't know. She goes, see, you liar. You said that you knew everything. And I said, I do. And I said, 3 definitions from 3 reliable sources. And I quoted each of those 3 definitions of the word everything. I said, I looked it up. I learned it. I know everything now, inside and out. So there. That broke the ice. She had a good chuckle out of it. She said, well, at least you stepped up and went and learned everything before you spouted off about it. I don't like fact checking. I don't like fact checking other people unless that's what we're together for. If I come together with somebody and the 2 of us want to know the facts of something, we're both seeking the same kind of information. We want to do this together and we do it. I love that. And I love getting into a good, healthy debate over how to perceive certain facts, because facts can be perceived differently by different people. It all depends on your upbringing and your lifestyle, everything. I love that interaction to come to a joint decision on what that is. I love that. But if you're just having a conversation, you're not there to find anything out as a fact. You just want to, how was your day? Oh, well, my day was pretty good. Oh, that's bullshit. I know better than that. I talked to so and so. I got facts. I know you didn't have a good day. Well, that's a conversation that's coming right to an end as far as I'm concerned. You don't want to have a conversation. You just want to prove me wrong because it makes you feel good. So take your facts and check them. Stick them. Hey, hey, Gemma's Journey Grace is there. That's great to see you, Gemma, sweetheart. Yeah, Gemma. Dr. Smith has been in the house, by the way, too. That's it's great to see all you folks. Hey, we're at the halfway mark, and I gotta give a little shout out to my channel members. And this is actually less than 1 minute, and I ain't going over. I'm going to sit here and sip my coffee for the next 40 seconds, and I'll see you in just a moment. And that's a fact, Jack. Yeah, those are great channels, boy, those folks, those members of mine. Hey, I have to give a shout out. I see Tales of Campground host, my buddy Travis is in the house. That is awesome. He's my buddy. And we got community independent volunteers. Awesome. Welcome to Sty Times. That's it's lucky. Okay. So anyway, your friendly fact checker. Now, one thing I have been running into the last couple of years, 4 years, it seems to be more often, are fact checkers that they'll fact check you once, and you get through that whole hassle of debating over this, and okay, you looked it up, so what? Yeah, okay, let's move on. And it isn't 10 minutes after you resolve that one that you're going to agree to disagree, because it just, no. And you got to tell them, yeah, that's enough. Just shut up. Yeah, you're not winning me over, so just drop it. It isn't 10 minutes. And something you just said in the conversation, again, they're right back on, and you can see them. You can see them. They're on their phone, or they're on that keyboard. And then they go, you know what? What you just said is wrong. And it's like, Jesus, man, you just did that to me 15 minutes ago. Why are you doing it again? So there you go. Round 2. You get through that, and you finally say, shut up. We're trying to have a conversation. Quit fact checking me. It isn't 5-10 minutes later. You say something again, and they're right on you, and they're fact checking your butt again. Or they're doing it in this conversation today, and they're going to do it again to you in the next conversation on some other topic. Then they're going to do it to you again the next day. Every time they come into your conversation, you can count on them fact-checking something you have said. Now, I know some people have heard me before say it, where I've had people fact-checking me, and I just tell them flat out, your fact-checking is not welcome, period. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because guess what? I'll be 65 in 2 months, So for the last 64 plus years, I get a lot of information off of the internet. Google it, man. You Google it and you get all kinds of sources too. You get everything out there. It can be on YouTube, Twitter, blah, 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 everywhere. It's coming from everywhere. Lots of information. But I didn't have internet for quite a large portion, for half of my lifetime. I learned that I take strong opinion on things I actually experience, where I have firsthand knowledge. I didn't have to ask Google. I can say, I saw this happen. So when this and this and this happens, that's the outcome. And I've had people say, bullshit, you're wrong. And I can prove it wrong. And I tell them, you can't prove nothing. When I get to know a person that's a fact checker, if they aggravate me far enough, I'll come right out and say it the way it is. You ain't proven nothing. Google's proven it. You're the dumbest goofball in the world. You are. You're stupid. You're bloody stupid. Because never once have you fact-checked me with something you have in your mind because you experienced it. Everything you fact-check me comes straight out of Google. So you're a Google head. You're a moron. You don't know nothing yourself because everything you do is click, 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 click on the phone. Everything you do. You don't have a stinking personal opinion of nothing. You're just a warm-blooded, breathing extension of Google. That's all you are. You're Google. I don't want to talk to Google when I'm having a conversation. If I wanted to talk to Google, I wouldn't have anybody else in the damn room, and I'd be sitting on my computer talking to Google. So what makes anybody think they have the freedom to come into my conversation as Google? Okay? That Dr. Smith, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. And Dr. Smith says, I don't use Google. I'm proud. Really, that goes a long ways. Hey, grilling and chilling with Mojo. I had Mojo on my panel last night. That was so awesome. That was so awesome. I hope Mojo feels very free to come and visit on my Thursday and Sundays whenever he's available. Come on up and chat. He's great. He's great, folks. Yeah, if you haven't got him, check him out. Hey, community independent volunteers. Lucky, all these folks you see out in the chat here, awesome folks, awesome folks. Yeah, check them all out. Everybody out there, check out community independent volunteers and get to know each other. Get to know each other. But yeah, I see, and that's again, I kind of had the advantage of having, oh gosh almighty, a good 30 years of not having social media access, where it all came out of books or real life experience, where you actually have to have skin in the game, and that sticks with you so well. So when you have a conversation, you can relate things you actually saw or experienced. But to have a fact checker that is really just an extension of Google, because they don't know anything themselves, they only know what others tell them, like Google. And do you think Google is always right? Oh man, I have fun with that with my acquaintances off of YouTube. I'll tell them, hey, check this out. I found this on Google. And they go, well, if that ain't a bunch of BS, boy, is that wrong. Yeah, yeah, but that's what you get if you type this in. You'd be amazed at how much misinformation Google's going to give you. It's loaded. It's loaded. Um, so when I have a fact checker that is actually just an that it that that person is actually just a warm-blooded extension of Google because they can't think for themselves. They got to fact check you through somebody else. If you got to use somebody else just to find something to be able to fact check that person, oh, get a life, man. Get a life. Because you're not living a life, somebody else is living it through you, attacking people out there that would probably be pretty good friends. They would probably be very good friends of yours if you weren't constantly fact checking them, especially when all they're doing is trying to have a conversation. They're not trying to convince you or anything, they're just making a statement. I had a guy once tell me he saw a duck flying backwards, that it flew backwards. I just started laughing. I go, "You gotta be kidding me." He says, "No, no, I'm not kidding. Not kidding." He says, "I was really disappointed because I didn't have a chance to get a photograph of it." He says, "I would love to get a photograph of it." He says, "Because a lot of people tell me I'm lying." And he says, "I bet you think I'm lying too." I said, "I don't know if you're lying or not. I wasn't there. I didn't see this dang duck, and you ain't got no picture of it flying backwards, so I don't know. I just don't know." So, without even telling him, I go to the library and I'm looking and I go, no, ducks just aerodynamically cannot fly backwards. And a librarian asked me why I was looking up all this information about the flight of birds and that. And I told him what I was doing, that I was just curious if a duck could fly backwards. And you know what that librarian said? Ducks can fly backwards if you've had enough Jack Daniels, I guarantee you. I went back to my buddy and I said, right now, I pretty much so believe you that you saw a duck flying backwards. You're probably the only person that's ever seen a duck fly backwards, but I actually think I might believe you because I know he likes to imbibe a lot. And he goes, "Well, I'm amazed. There's no way in hell I thought you'd ever believe me." And I said, "Well, I got to thinking about it and talked to a few people in the know. And yeah, if you were out there at the lake and the way you drink, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a duck fly backwards." Yeah. I said, I'm surprised you didn't see any flying pigs that day either, but who am I to say you're wrong? I'm not going to call you wrong. Because in his mind, he saw a duck fly backwards. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Community Independent Volunteers is a new member. Check it out. Thank you so much. Welcome aboard. Now, I'll tell you what. I will put in the chat my email address. And if you would get me your mailing address, I'll get you a welcome letter and a channel sticker right off to you. That's great. We got another hiker in the house. I can't wait till I get moved in my new home because the way I'm setting up my studio in the new home, I will have actually 3 systems running at one time, and I'll be able to manage my chat totally separate from my stream. It's going to work like $1,000,000. But there in the chat is my email address for the channel. So yeah, get me your mail-in address. Um, Make sure to mention your channel name in the email, because so many people that they'll send me their address. They give me their personal name and their address. I put it all together, get it in the envelope, and I'm like, okay, I said um, to them, thank you very much, Bob, for becoming a. And I don't even know what their channel name is, because they never mentioned their channel name in their email to me. Um, so I respond to them, not even knowing who they are. You know, it's so yeah, just a little point of information that makes life a lot easier. The oh, I had somebody. Oh, just again, that's somebody fact checking me. Okay, I'm telling them how I'm setting my studio up over at the new home where I'm going to be, where I'm going to be living, and told them how my equipment's going to be set up. When I first start out, I'm going to have 2 monitors here on the studio. I'm not going to be using my 65-inch TV for a computer monitor anymore. I'm going to have that in our game room at that house. My son and I will have one. He's got a big old room with a big sofa, and we'll have our 2 flat screen TVs on the wall, and that's our gaming room and watch movies kind of room. My studio will all be smaller flat screen monitors, and by midsummer, I'll have 3 monitors in my studio. I'll have like a love seat. I'll be able to do in-studio interviews with people, and yeah, it's going to be a whole different affair. But the reason for the 3 monitors is one monitor is going to be chat dedicated. It's all going to be in large font, so it's more like a teleprompter. The main flat screen is going to be the studio itself. The other flat screen is going to be Facebook, Twitter, any of those peripheral social medias that I use. And it'll all be interactive. And I'm going to get myself the big stream deck so I can pop. So I'll get a small stream deck for the one computer, the big stream deck for my primary system. The laptop is just running the chat. But it's nice. It'll be so redundant that anything goes down in the middle of a stream, it's redundant. My primary desktop, right next to it is secondary desktop. Secondary is running all that social media over on that screen. Primary is running nothing but StreamYard. If my primary has a glitch, it's literally just a couple of clicks and a couple of buttons, and boom, secondary's up. It's camera, it's webcam, it's mic switch. It'd just be about a 30-second hiccup. Boom, my primary went down. Boom, I'm back up. Sorry, folks. That easy. We're going to get this. So Sty don't like to think when he's live streaming, you know. Hey, Kenneth Beers, good to see ya. Lori saying, what do you mean you'll have 3 systems going at one time? You're going to have 3 computers? Yes. Well, 2 desktops and a laptop running when I'm doing a live stream. Yeah. And then I've got 4 machines counting the laptop. I'll also have a dedicated desktop upstairs in my bedroom, which is going to have a corner office in it, um, that will be dedicated just for rendering videos. And that'll be networked. All three desktops are going to be networked, but the laptop is going to be a standalone. But all four of them will be hardwired to our internet too. We've got high speed, very high speed internet, so it'll handle everything, no problem. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. But I had a fact checker explained to him how I'm setting up. Can't be done, he said. Can't be done. You can't do that. At first, I was going to run 2 independent monitors off of my primary desktop. Now, I changed my mind on that. I'm going to just run the secondary desktop instead and run each of these 2 monitors off their own video card. And it's just I don't want to put that much load on the video card in my primary machine by running 2 monitors. And then also on my primary machine, I'd literally have to have my browsers open twice, 2 separate browsers running at the same time. I'd be really stacking up the burden on the CPU. So if I split them up, being I have a secondary desktop that's powerful enough to run the whole thing, might as well split them up and use the secondary, because I got my third machine. That's the one upstairs. So yeah, it'll work good. It'll work really good. Plus, I have the space there that I can have the studio equipment I want. Where here I'm limited where I live. Having the big screen TV is the way to go, because I don't have room to set up multiple monitors here. I got the big screen there, 65-inch straight in front of me. That's what I'm looking at. And I've got my 46-inch right next to it, right there, over there. Computer Chicks saying, I have a new desktop, runs 32 gig of RAM, laptop iMac, another desktop converting to a server tower. There you go. 2 Android tablets, and then my son has 2 computers. Yeah, that's one thing with me and my boys, where we got to be careful, because we can get prolific. I did have one time that counting the 3 laptops I had 7 machines set up at home and running, and I managed to tailor it that way back by retiring. I'm no longer running a business, and yeah, so, but Laurie says, okay, I'm going to pretend I understand what you just said. I don't have to break it down any further. I've got a learning disability, so I didn't get a word of that shit. I'm sorry, Laurie. Yeah. Well, some of the people, yeah, you're not alone. There's others in the show that are going, what the hell did he just say? But there's others, a computer chick, that's going, oh, that's that simple stuff, Our computer chick, she'd walk in the room after I get set up, and she'd go, took the easy way out, didn't you, Sty? Yeah. But I'll tell you what, back to fact checking. Again, I can't stress anymore. There is a time for fact checking there, and it's when somebody is asking for information. If somebody's, hello, McCoy's Oak Hill Farm. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, girl. There are those times when you're seeking some help, an answer, or information. And someone that likes to fact check they can make a pretty good friend by being ready in that instant and say, hey, I can help you out. I can put you onto this, onto this, onto this. That's what makes them a friendly fact checker. It's when you get blindsided with someone declaring you wrong. And like I said in the first half of the show, I was raised that the word wrong is synonymous with the word bad. He burnt that house down. That's bad. Yeah, it's wrong. He beat up that little girl. That's bad. Yeah, that was so wrong. He stole from that little old lady. That's bad. Yeah, that's wrong. That's just wrong. But fact checkers love to get in your face and tell you how wrong you are. You're wrong. You're wrong. Like I said, I fall prey to that, and I'm guilty of it myself. But I always feel bad later when I realize, yeah, I was calling them wrong. I shouldn't have gone there. I shouldn't have used it in that way, because to me, the word wrong used just because somebody doesn't have all the information to think the same way you do, to call them wrong, that's humiliating, belittling. It's telling that person they're a bad person. You're bad. Yeah. What you think is bad because it's wrong. So use caution. If you want to be a fact checker, go right ahead. But do it with a little bit of heart and humanity, and be kind to the people you're fact checking. Do it as a service to them, not as a disservice to them. See what I'm saying? I hope so. Yeah, McCoy's Oak Hills Farm is trying to get things sorted. Yeah, life is having its way, right? Yeah, isn't that she's saying you're right. I never thought about bad and wrong being the same thing. I have to thank my grandparents and my own parents for instilling that in me as a little boy, and all the way up through the years, that if you really think about it, how often can you even come up with the word wrong being used unless it's a connotation of bad, except when people are using it to accuse somebody of not knowing enough, right? It's the only other place you use the word wrong. Um, Now, I had someone say, but no, yet, because what if you go to put a pair of shoes on and you go, that's the wrong size? Well, it's a bad size for you, isn't it? So think about it, really think about it. The connotation of wrong is it's not right. Not right with that intent and tone of that is bad. That's bad. That ain't right. That's bad. Yeah. So if a person tries to keep that in mind, you start using the word wrong a little differently and in context, keep it in context. And like I said, I'm guilty of it. I've told people right in their face, you're wrong. You're just wrong. You're wrong. But later, when I realize I did that, I always feel bad about it. Yeah. Um, the Yeah, Lori. It's Lori J's birthday today. So on our way out, everybody wish her a happy birthday. It's great to see you, Mayberry. Um, it's the end of the show, folks. We hit that hour mark, and I want to thank every one of you for being here today. Um, I'm going to read this last comment. I'm going over my time, but I'm going to read this one from Plain Old Chuck because it's the first time I've seen him say anything tonight. He says, problem nowadays is people pass on false things on purpose with no regard for morals and truth in general. I don't do it in public, but I fact check everything I read for my own satisfaction. Bingo. Bravo. That's the way I try to live my life. And I try to tell people that. They tell me, I'm going to give you the facts. I said, no, you're not. You'll give me some information, but don't worry about it. I'll get the facts myself. In fact, just a few nights back, I had that kind of debate with somebody, and they kept telling me, I'm going to email or I'm going to message you this link and that link. And I said, get real. Don't do it. Don't send me your facts. I have Google just like you. So yeah. Hey, King Bluto, thank you on my way out the door. That is so kind of you, man. Yeah, there's my new, he's a new member too. He just became a member. And yeah, so I got 2 new members over the last couple of days. King Bluto's great. Yeah, you were in my mid-roll members little video today, King Bluto. I got you in there. Thank you so much. Thank you. And hey, folks, it was great. Thank you for all of your participation in the chat. It was great. Yeah, Plano Chuck saying he's trying to practice be a good listener. That's you folks, you never get to see much of that of me because I'm a creator on YouTube. And when I'm creating, I don't shut up, right? That's my persona here on YouTube. In real life, I've had people say, haven't you got something to say? Oh, well, no, I'm too busy listening to you guys, you know. And that's it. It took me a long time to truly learn to be a good listener. And that's what got me through my career, was learning to be not just a public presenter, but to actually be able to listen. And the one best lesson, I'm going to I'm going to put that in my topic list as soon as I get off of here. And that's, are you listening? We're going to talk about that. The act of listening. That's a good topic. Thanks for taking me down that trail there, Plain Old Chuck. So, folks, that's it. We're wrapping it up for the day. And my exit is just the typical exit. It'll tell you what the next topic is, and that'll be on Monday night at 5 p.m. Central Time. And don't forget, the next time you can see me is Sunday evening. That's only 2 days away. Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Sty Story Sunday. Hope to see you there. Have a good evening. Bye-bye, folks.